And welcome to the Houston Texans franchise rebuild. Here today we have week 18 action versus the San Francisco 49ers. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're all having a great day. Please leave a like, comment down below what you thought of today's action, and don't forget to subscribe. As the Houston Texans coming off of a very impressive victory, beating the Las Vegas Raiders 30-7 in a ball game where our offense played picture-perfect football and our defense pitched also a perfect game. But now we're heading into week 18 here, and today's episode is going to be a little bit different. I'm not expecting a lot from this episode, but for starters, we're really going to be seeing the bottom of this roster here. My game plan for this week is to get probably the first quarter to the starters, and then we'll go in, see the backups. Daniel Williams will get a lot of playing time. Mason Pryor, I just want him to play probably a series or two. Just really get him out there. Same thing with the defense. This is probably the last game of Cameron Hayworth's career, so the likelihood of him playing a significant role is to be expected, but I still want to see the youth of this roster, players that we don't know just yet. We will be also going through the NFL draft, as well as the last bit of negotiation. And this is all due to the fact that at an 8-8 record here, the AFC, as yes, it is still a tight race here, and there is probably a scenario if we do win the game and teams lose and stuff, that we possibly maybe could make the 7th seed. I don't know. I'm not banking on it, and that's my perspective on it. We will also go through any sort of stats, and we'll go through all the stats, rewards, and we're going to sim to the Super Bowl week if we do not make the postseason. If we do make the postseason, well, then that's next episode. So let's go check out this 49ers team and then get it into week 18 action. And here are the San Francisco 49ers, led by George Kittle, Fred Warner here, Deebo Samuel. This team has stayed relatively the same. They brought in Zach Wilson in this past offseason to be their starting quarterback. At a 76 overall, or a 77, playing like a 76, he's still a capable starter in this league. But as you guys can see, he has both I believe the bridge quarterback tags, so they're probably going to be looking to draft someone. They did also bring back Jimmy G. He played in as a Packer last year, but overall, they don't have the best quarterback play. They have Elijah Mitchell here at running back. They got one very good receiver here in Deebo Samuel, and then everyone else is kind of veterans here. Paul Ward here as a slot receiver is a very intriguing playmaker. He's a good player. They got a quality #1 receiver in Deebo. They do have George Kittle here at tight end, and he can be dangerous with the football in his hand. But this San Francisco team is very much in a mix of a rebuild. They don't have the best offensive line. Mike Golinsky here, he's their best lineman. But defensively, they're a little bit more secured, with Eric Armstead. We traded them BJ Hill during the trade deadline. They had Fred Warner. This defense is way more put together, I would say. But this 49ers team still needs a lot of work, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I'm expecting us to win this ball game here. Hopefully we can do so. We're going to see the bottom half of this roster here, and we're going to kind of treat this like a preseason ball game. So let's get into today's action here. All that other stuff between scouting, re-signing, and stats will all happen at the end of the video, just to let you guys know. So let's go get into week 18 here. And welcome to California here in San Francisco in week 18. It's the Niners versus the Texans. Both of these two teams are not expected to make the postseason, as the 49ers have had a 4-11 season, or 4-10 season. I don't remember exactly their record, but they've not had the year they've wanted under Zach Wilson and company. For the Houston Texans, after winning the division and getting the #1 seed a year ago, and now falling to 8-8, teetering on the potential of having a losing season, we're not having the year we want. We want to see the bottom half of this roster due to the fact that in year 5, we do need to make changes. It's clicking here. We need to be able to put together a Super Bowl winning roster with the upcoming contracts over the next few seasons with this roster. It's going to be difficult here. So expect to see the starting lineup in the first quarter, probably the first few drives, and then we'll see a lot of backups here. And they're gonna have to really impress me this week. And leading out his 49er offense is number 4, Zach Wilson. 19 touchdowns to 10 interceptions this campaign. Looking to improve on his numbers here in week 18. He's trying to keep his job, really. You know, if he can't go out there and perform this week, you know, I think Zach Wilson's expected to be a backup next season. As this Niners team will start at their own 25-yard line here. Wilson in the shotgun, handing the ball off to Elijah Mitchell here. The veteran runner is able to get 5. Well, this Niners team, if we're going to focus on them a little bit, you know, they got George Kittle, they got Deebo Samuel, and Elijah Mitchell. That's their three-headed monster. If we can slow those 3 players down, we definitely have a good job here. And last week, our defense very much performed at the level of play that I expect them to do every single week. And, you know, very impressed with them, and hopefully we can continue it. As Zach Wilson keeps it himself. I don't know where these defenders are going to. Finally making a tackle here on Wilson, and he's still down on the field. And just like that, with Wilson's injury here for San Francisco, here comes Jimmy G here, who last year played as a Packer. Now he's back here, being the backup here as he completes this pass for 5. Garoppolo will stay in the shotgun here, as he's going to go with the offset pistol formation here. 2 receiver set. Going to keep it himself now, and he's trying to run it outside, and Derek Stingley has to save a first down. And yes, we will be seeing the backup defense. I want to see a lot of these young players get some opportunities here. It's just for extra experience as this penalty flag is thrown here. And just to see the bottom, just to see the depth of this roster here, it's so important to me, due to the fact that I feel like, you know, this team really needs more quality depth. That's really the direction that I'm thinking that we should take here, as this pass will go to Mitchell, and Mitchell's able to break free. He gets the first down and more. I do think that we have our core players. I do think that, you know, in this up and coming off season, it's a very important one to get us over the top. But here comes Paul Ward here, number 12 for San Francisco. He's their young, talented receiver. Putting Deebo in the backfield here. 2nd down and 7. Here comes Garoppolo. He looks to throw. Paul Ward again with the reception and almost the first down. There'll be a 3rd down and 1 here at the 3. San Francisco's knocking at the door here. Looks to throw as Garoppolo. Houston sends an all-out blitz. This pass is going to be caught here. Deebo Samuel with a touchdown reception here. Here in week 18, as San Francisco will have a 7-0 lead. And leading out his Houston offense is number 15, Mason Pryor. 35 touchdowns to 25 interceptions. 4,400 passing yards here. Pryor's regressed in terms of turnovers. We're hoping that, you know, this week he can go out there and perform pretty well. I'm not expecting him to play the entire game here, but for a majority of it, he will get the opportunity. Now, if there's any looming questions if Pryor's the starting quarterback next year, no, he is the guy. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Pryor's the quarterback. It's just that I want to see Daniel Williams, the rookie quarterback, just give him an opportunity, really. Pryor will probably play a little bit with the backups too, but overall my game plan is to see Daniel Williams, as this is Dameon Pierce up the middle, gain of 3. Pryor the shotgun here, trying to answer Garoppolo's touchdown. He looks to throw. He wants to take a deep shot here with Ridley. Calvin Ridley, who makes this tough reception. We traded for him from the San Francisco 49ers, and he just got 41. Fresh set of downs here for Houston. I formation inside the 20. Here comes Dameon Pierce, who ran great last week. He gains 9 more. Tony Pollard checks into the ball game now. Pryor takes the snap. Here comes Tony, the veteran runner. This is probably his last game as a Texan. He gains 6. Goal to go now here at the 3. Pryor under center. Takes the snap. He looks to throw. He wants Richard Palmer, the second-year tight end, who reels it down. Touchdown, Houston. And we're all tied up here. The early stages here of the first quarter. Here comes the Niners here. Garoppolo still in. No more, I think, Zach Wilson. Here comes Elijah Mitchell here. think this is gonna be the last look at really our starting full defense here. I want to get some younger players out there probably after this possession. And, you know, there will be key players that we do recognize here, like Dwight. Dwight will be playing in this entire ball game. Here comes a 3rd down and 7 here, or 3rd down and 3. Garoppolo in the shotgun, handing the ball off here to Mitchell. Mitchell trying to avoid a 3 and out, and he can't get past the first down marker. D'Angelo with an excellent tackle right there, the rookie defensive end, and we'll be forcing a quick 3 and out. As Mason Pryor is still out there at quarterback. 3 tight end formation. Here comes Dameon Pierce. It's probably going to be the same thing with this offense. This will probably be their last possession before we put out some more backups in. As we'll stick with the I formation here. Pryor under center. Pierce will get back-to-back carries, and Dameon Pierce almost gets the first down. As it will be a 3rd down and 1 here. Pryor takes the snap, he looks to throw. He wants Richard Palmer, and he got him. 1st down and more. Fresh set of downs here for Houston. Pryor staying in this passing game here, and he wants Palmer yet again, who's been busy so far in this first quarter. 3 catches so far. Here at the beginning of the second quarter here, Houston has the football, putting together a quality drive here. Pryor will start with play action fake. He looks to throw. He wants Nico Collins, and Collins with his big mitts reels it down. 2nd down and 7 here, or 2nd down and 10, excuse me. Motioning Wilkerson, flips it out to Wilkerson, and Wilkerson gets an excellent block here as he makes the move now, and he gets the 1st down and more. 2nd down and goal here for Pryor. He takes the snap, looks to throw, end zone. Collins caught, touchdown. Houston will go up by a score here, and Nico Collins reels it down here, helping out his young quarterback, and Houston will have a 14-7 lead. And here comes the Niners here, starting at their own 25-yard line, and more backups have entered into the ball game here for Houston. This pass will be on the outside here, caught for 7. We still have a few rotational players out there, a few starters, but I still want to see some of them, as this is Brenton McLean here, the rookie's corner, who's playing safety right now with an excellent tackle. I think he's so versatile as a defensive back, and he makes that excellent tackle. It will be a 3rd down and 3 here. Niners trying to avoid another 3 and out. Here comes a little read option here for Garoppolo, and Jimmy can't get the 1st down. Our defense stops him. Well, Mason Pryor and company is still out there. A few backups in there. Tony Pollard will get the touch here on the 1st down at this gain of 14 right there. Good hard running right there by Pollard. And now Josh Cole here, the 3rd-year runner, has checked in, motioning here Richard Palmer. And here comes Cole. Cole right up the gut here, trying to show off his great ability here. Gain of 16. This will be the last drive here for Mason Pryor and these 2 top wide receivers. Here comes Pryor. He looks to throw. He wants Richard Palmer yet again, and he got him. 1st down and more. Got to continue to help out our young quarterback here in Pryor. I completely still believe in him. Here comes Pryor, play action fake. He wants Collins. Collins with an excellent catch, excellent run, and it will go off for a touchdown here. Nico Collins for 47. What a job here for the young, talented superstar and Nico Collins. And here comes the Niners here, down by 2 scores. Backups are in here for Houston. Garoppolo got pressured there on 1st down. It's off the mark. Garoppolo staying in the pistol formation here. He's had so far a good game here, and he's going to keep it himself, and he loses a couple. Here is Steven Dalton. Want to get the young edge rusher here. Plenty of playing time here in Houston. Here comes a 3rd down and 14 off the read option. Garoppolo looks to throw here, going to the outside. Now McLean can't knock it away, and it's actually out of bounds. Incomplete. And here comes the rookie quarterback, Daniel Williams. Kind of excited to see what the young rookie quarterback can do. We've seen him a few times this campaign here, and I'm hoping that, you know, Williams can be the long-term backup quarterback here in Houston. I've actually had a lot of expectations here for him. Gonna motion here, rookie wide receiver Leon Holtier, who we drafted, I believe, in the 5th round. Holtier has excellent speed, and I hope that he can provide a little juice to this offense next season. as we are seeing basically all the backups in, besides a few starts here. Here comes Josh Cole. Cole, the young runner, gains a couple. And here comes the 3rd down and 3 here. Williams, play fake. He looks to throw, looking for anyone, not liking anything. He wants Tyler, and Tyler, who with an excellent catch here, but it's 4th down and inches. Well, it's week 18 here. Houston looks like they want to go for it here on 4th down and 3. They're already up by 2 scores. Here comes Josh Cole right up the gut of this defense, and he gets the 1st down and more. Staying in the shotgun here is Daniel, as now he's going to motion Brock Morgan here, who's filled in a few times. Morgan with an excellent burst of speed, and he gets the 1st down and a lot more, but he's still down on the field though. 3rd down and 10 here for Daniel, trying to avoid the field goal attempt here, but he's going to be sacked. Armstead with a big time sack here for San Francisco, and we'll settle for 3. So we have a 3-score lead here. Jimmy G will start at his own 25 with a little pitch here to Elijah Mitchell now, and Mitchell won't go far as our 2 rookie defenders bring him down. As we just hit the 2-minute warning here, Garoppolo trying to put together a quality drive here. Here's Garoppolo, settles underneath here, and our defense still has our 2 top-tier cornerbacks out there. Still want to see what our defense can do. Here comes Garoppolo, settles underneath now. Our defense wraps him up fairly quickly. Hurry up offense now here for Garoppolo and company. He looks to throw, settles underneath here to Paul Ward. Our defense surrounds him. Inside the 44 now, here comes Garoppolo, picked off of Dory Jackson, and he's going back the other way here. Jackson is still out there because of the fact he wants to become defensive back of the year, and he just got a pick 6 here. That should really help out his cause here, as Houston will go up by 4 scores now. Dory Jackson just capped off his season with a big time pick 6 now. Minute to go here in the first half here in week 18. San Francisco is just reeling here. And this is the thing, you know, right here, right now, this was my expectation for this Houston team, to go out there and really dominate this Niners team, which is why I'm really wanting to see the backups. But thankfully right now, we're looking very good out here. Is this pass here for a 1st down and a lot more. Here at the 48-yard line here, Garoppolo, play fake. He looks to throw down the field, and he is going to take his shot, and that falls off the hand of McLean. And Brenton McLean there, he can play every position, I feel like, in the defensive as a defensive back. This pass here to Paul Ward gets the 1st down and more. 33 seconds now here. Garoppolo trying to put together a quality drive, and he has one going right now. Here comes Paul Ward yet again, 1st down and more. 2nd down and 2 here for Garoppolo and company. Takes the snap, he looks to throw, plenty of time. Settles underneath here to Elijah Mitchell. Niners have 1 timeout to work with to try to cut into this lead. 13 seconds now. Here at the 12, Niners have no timeouts to work with. Looks to throw, settles underneath here. Sterling Shepard, does he get in? He doesn't, and time will run out here, and we'll head into halftime. Houston has a 31-7 lead here. I'm expecting us to be able to hold on to it here in the second half. So hopefully, you know, we'll probably get a little deeper here into the second half, but overall, we're playing excellent football, backups and all. Very impressed here. Just want to see a few more things from our team. As we're almost halfway through here, the 4th quarter, the Niners were able to get a couple scores, and we were able to put up a touchdown of our own here. And we're going to jump right back into it here, as San Francisco starting with a good 6-yard pass here. As Garoppolo's had himself a solid day. We've been seeing a lot more backups out there making a lot of impact. As here comes Garoppolo yet again, Deebo Samuel, who brings down another big-time reception here. It has been mostly Samuel as well as George Kittle in this second half here for this Niners team. Here comes Garoppolo, settles underneath here. Here's Sterling Shepard, who's made a few big catches here. He's still down. Garoppolo in the shotgun here. He's down by 18, trying to cut into this lead a little bit. Here's Elijah Mitchell on the sideline. 2nd down and 6 here. Garoppolo in the shotgun takes the snap. He looks to throw. Deebo Samuel out of the backfield. Won't go far, though. 3rd down and 1 here. Garoppolo trying to get a first down, and he got there Samuel yet again. First down. Fresh set of downs here for this Niners team, moving up and down this field. And here comes the backup tight end with a reception, and he broke multiple tackles. Fresh set of downs here for this Niners team. Trying to cut into this lead and maybe potentially have a comeback. Here comes Garoppolo, settles underneath here. And this is, I don't know who that is, who reels it in. But a first down and more, McKenzie. Putting Samuel back in this backfield here. He has that flexibility. Here comes the little carry here for Samuel, who makes a move now. And he gets 9 more. 2nd down and 1 here. Garoppolo with 3 tight ends out on the field. He looks to throw. Houston sends an all-out blitz. Doesn't get home. Kittle, touchdown, San Francisco. They're going to cut more into this lead here. Now it's up to our offense just to preserve it. As San Francisco's attempting an onside kick here, and it will not work. As Daniel Williams is still in at quarterback here. He's looked very good, very productive out there. Josh Cole, the ball carrier. Cole will get a couple more. We've been utilizing every bit of our young talent just to really see who can stand out. Here comes Cole yet again, and he won't go far. It'll be a 3rd down and 7 here for Daniel Williams. He needs this conversion. He takes the snap, trying to stand strong in this pocket, and he just overthrows Tyler. It's 4th down. We have to punt. Well, with 1:24 to go here, down by 2 scores here, can the Niners come back in this ball game? Here comes Garoppolo. Here is Deebo Samuel, who's breaking multiple tackles, shoved out of bounds, thankfully. Fresh set of downs here for San Francisco, who's been having themselves an excellent day passing. Samuel yet again out of the backfield. Our defense is right there. 2 minutes left to go here in year 4, potentially, especially for our Houston team. This pass underneath here to Paul Ward gets the first down and more. And if this lead stays a fort, you know, there is a possibility, but who knows, as that's Kevin Joseph there knocking that pass away. But who really knows, especially if this lead stands, if we have a chance, a slim chance to make the postseason. Either way, we're playing for pride out here. We're trying to win this ball game, and this is Kevin Joseph with a big time INT. Joseph trying to show off that he might have a little bit of ability to stay on this roster. And that's an excellent, showing right there. And now the only thing that Houston has to do is be able to run this clock out. Here comes Williams, handing this ball off to Tony Pollard. Pollard gains a few, and he's still down on the field. Williams under center, 1:32 left to go. Here comes Pierce. Pierce back in today's action. He gets the call, and now he's down on the field. Well, the only active running back right now is Christian Thomas, the fullback. He gets the call. He goes right up the gut. Can he just stay healthy on a carry? He does, but injury timeout. Tony Pollard's back into the game here. 2nd down and 6. He gets the call. Houston just trying to knock some time off, and the Niners use their first timeout. As it's 3rd down and 2 here, Houston trying to not punt this football back to the Niners, and they might have to here. And I think that Tyler couldn't get the first down. Well, this will be the last look here of our Houston defense. With 1:08 left to go, year 4 is almost in the books here. Here comes Garoppolo. He looks to throw. He wants to take a deep shot here, and this ball is going to be picked off again. Kevin Joseph, his 2nd INT at today's action. He's going back the other way. Kevin Joseph might be finishing off this season so strong here, we might have to consider him potentially as a depth corner. But that should be the dagger here. And here in week 18, the Houston Texans will be beating the San Francisco 49ers 38-27 in a ball game where our team showed up here, All the backups played excellent football. Nico Collins caught a touchdown. Mason Pryor looked good. Kevin Joseph also looked very good out there. Ridley caught a big time reception here. It doesn't really answer too many questions, but it does show that we have a lot of quality depth here on this roster. I know the Niners are not one of the best teams in this league. They're actually one of the worst, which is really the reason why I was confident in the backups. But overall, it was a solid day here across the board for our Houston team. We stay above 500. Mason Pryor threw 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and Daniel Williams added a touchdown of his own. Josh Cole ran for 58 yards, 51 here for Tony Pollard, Dameon Pierce 34. Got a lot of players involved. You know, we utilize these young receivers in various different ways. Richard Palmer caught 2 touchdowns, Collins caught 2. No one really had themselves like a massive day besides Palmer in terms of receiving, but we got a lot of players involved. 1 sacked allowed by Derek Charles, and then defensively, you know, we didn't get any sacks, got a few tackles for loss, but Kevin Joseph with 2 INTs, Adoree Jackson with a big pick 6. You know what? We end the season strong with 2 victories, and hopefully we can take that into next season. As we have 1 upgrade after this game, and it's to Dwight Pianzo here. We're gonna go with Speed Rusher for him, and that's gonna make that a 70 overall. We'll get a little agility and +2 finesse. Here are his ratings at this current point in time. If you're wondering about his pass rushing moves, you know, it's right now a true 73 and a true 70 for power and finesse respectfully. But we mostly worked on his run stopping. I wanted him to be a little bit more well-rounded in that department, so then he can get on the field and be more of an active player. But here in year 5, we fall to 9-8. There's obviously the question of, did we make the postseason and did we not? But, you know, we did suffer 2 injuries. Josh Cole and DeQuandre Lamb here dealt with a couple injuries. They're done. But before we sim, we still have a lot of stuff to talk about. So first and foremost, let's go through some stats here. Mason Pryor. And we'll go through the player evaluation at the beginning of the next episode, of course, if that is an off season. But Mason Pryor, 38 touchdowns, 25 interceptions. Bad season in terms of turnovers. It's really the thing that plagued us all year long. You know, the yard, everything regressed. The passing rating, the yards, the touchdowns, the interceptions went up. The sacks went down, so the offensive line played better. And, you know, the completion percentage went up, but, you know, a lot of important things were in the wrong category here for Mason Pryor. He really needs to have a good year 4. Daniel Williams, who played a lot, actually, you know, he's expected to be my backup quarterback next year. Here are his ratings right now. I know he doesn't have the best deep accuracy, but I like Williams. I think he can be a solid backup. 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns here for Dameon Pierce. He had a good year. 450 rushing yards here for Tony Pollard. Added 2 touchdowns. Josh Cole with a career high 286 with a touchdown. And Mason Pryor added 3 rushing touchdowns on the ground. So in total, Pryor had 41 touchdowns, you know, on his own. For receiving, Nico Collins, 90 catches, 1,600 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Paul Wilkerson, 88 catches, 1,200 yards, and 10. Calvin Ridley added 47, 700, and 5 touchdowns. And then Richard Palmer, 53 catches, 508 touchdowns. He looked good. So, you know, we have I think Richard Palmer really had a fantastic year too. What more could you really ask for from a guy that we really didn't expect him to play that well? Tony Pollard had 200 receiving yards. Brock Morgan added some good plays here. Pierce added some plays on the ground. You know, we got a lot of different players involved, but, you know, Nico Collins continues to impress, of course, here at wide receiver. Another stellar season. Always above 88 catches, always above 1,500 yards, and always above 10 touchdowns in this franchise so far. When we turn over to the offensive line here, you know, the most sacks allowed was by Tunsil, second most by Tevin Booth. Derek Charles right behind, but the offensive line, in my opinion, had probably their best season across the board. Roman Nova led us in tackles for loss, also Nova. Christian Harris not far behind. In terms of sacks, Nick Bosa, 18.5. Stephen Dalton with 8. Dwight added 8. Cameron Hayworth added 7. Myers 5.5. And then we have a bunch of more down the board here. In terms of turnovers, where we really played very well here, Dory Jackson added 6, Christian Harris had 5, Marcus Cook had 4, Jalen and Derek Stingley each had 3, and then a few more interceptions down the board. So defensively, played very well. Let's look at pass deflections, 18 by Marcus Cook, 12 by both of our 2 linebackers, and Stingley added 10 as well. So overall, the players that we expected to play good played good. In terms of, everything. Kicking, perfect here for Matt Gay, besides 1 miss extra point. Punting is there. 1,200 kick return yards here for Brenton McLean. McLean also added almost 300 punt return yards. We got other players involved as well. So those are the stats here. I know we went through them fairly quickly. We'll go a little bit more in depth if necessary. But of course, let's quickly just check out if McLean's development trait has been revealed. I know that he was very close to it, and it has been revealed. He is a star dev corner. I do think he has the versatility, though, to play on any sort of... he has the versatility, in my opinion, to play safety. He was playing safety in this ball game. He has that tackle and awareness. He doesn't have the hit power, but from an overall defensive back and as an athlete, he can play almost any position here. So, we still have a lot of work to do as we're going to be potentially entering here into year 5. But let's go through quickly any sort of contract negotiations that we want to do this week, and then the draft. So currently, without until we sim to the next week, we have $68 million, and we have 19 players' contracts to deal with. And these are all the pending free agents, and everything is due to change here. Mostly due to the fact that, contracts on our team will go up next season, and some of these players' interests might not be around. Calvin might not want to come back here. Same with a player like Kevin Joseph here. But in terms of working on any sort of contracts right now at this episode, I don't think we really should. I would give this contract here to Ben Powers, just for depth purposes, but I think that we can do in the off season. But no pending free agents that right now we need to work on. So let's talk about the NFL draft here, as we right now, and this is the draft class, I believe right now we have 1 first-round pick and no second-round pick, and then a couple 3s and a couple other draft picks. I think we have 7 still. But in reality, where are we going to be targeting here in this draft class? I definitely think getting an offensive weapon makes a whole lot of sense. Adding in potentially a young running back, a potentially young wide receiver, or hell, even a young tight end. I think there's depth across the board here to really help us. Players like Stephen Love, Chris Mann, Elijah Curley, Devontae Gills here, Gino Duvall here, who I think can be very good. Same with, what's his name? Bradley Ramsey here, who's an excellent slot projective. I think all 4 of these tight ends could potentially be a difference maker as the number 2 guy. I like Ben Silvers a lot. I do think we got to think about the offensive line. Do we try to make a big time move to get Bobby James here, or do we sit here and try to go get one of these, Troy Agnew type of players? I definitely think probably in the first round we are looking to add an offensive player. I think when you look at our defense, we have more young up and coming stars than on the offensive side of the ball. And when we flip it over here to the defense, I don't think we need to really hone in on the defensive line. I really think that if we're going to be adding anything, it would probably be here at safety. And, Gregory Carroll here is my favorite safety. I do like Matt Trevitt here. Same with Rashad Clinton here. These are 2 of my other favorite safeties. Overall, I think that in this up-and-coming draft, we're looking to add quality depth. We're looking to add in a difference maker to help out on the offensive side of the ball. But, you know, who knows, of course, in this up and coming off season, what we're going to really do. So let's go sim to the next week. And, you know, I've been talking off season this entire episode, and let's see if Madden somehow, some way we get into the postseason. And as we sim to the next week here, we see that we did not make the postseason at a 9-8 record. The Titans had a 14-3 record. The Colts had an 11-6 record. And you guys can see the overall team ranks. We were the #1 offense points per game, the 18th passing offense, the 5th rushing offense. We were the 12th points per game on defense, 12th or 19th in passing yards, and then the 2nd in rushing yards. So our front 7 has really improved. We were able to put up points. We're just gonna finish ball games here. Here's the current playoff picture here. The #1 seed here for the AFC is the Tennessee Titans, and then the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Jets, 2 to 4, and then we have the Colts, Raiders, and the Bengals as the wild card teams. On the other side, you got the Bears, you got the Cardinals, the Seahawks, the Eagles, the Falcons, the Saints, and the Bucks. So a lot of the AFC South. It feels like the entire AFC South. They're only missing one team. My goodness. But, you know, this is the playoff picture. We will sim to the Super Bowl week. But first, let's just go through the yearly awards. So the league MVP is Robbie Edmond here, the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Behind him is Lamar Jackson and Justin Fields. Head coach of the year is Bob Bates here, the Bears head coach, you know, and we are number 8. We were the head coach of the year last year. We'll quickly go through the NFC. Chris Godwin, offensive player of the year. Brian Burns, defensive player of the year. Ben Daniels, quarterback of the Saints, rookie of the year. Quandre Reed, defensive rookie of the year. Bobby Edmond, quarterback. Christian McCaffrey, running back. Chris Godwin, receiver. Chip Cook here, best offensive lineman. Brian Burns, defensive lineman of the year. Micah Parsons here, linebacker. AJ Terrell, defensive back. And then Graham Gano, kicker of the year. When we flip it over to the AFC, which is our conference, we got Nick Chubb as the offensive player of the year, and we have Nico Collins right there. For defensive player of the year, TJ Watt, we have Nick Bosa, Christian Harris, you know, and Adoree Jackson, all 3 of those guys making the top 10 for defensive player of the year. Offensive rookie of the year, we don't see any Houston Texan, but James Nugent, quarterback of the Chargers. Bobby Hunter here, linebacker. He's the defensive player of the year for the AFC. Dwight was number 2, or not number 2. He was in, where is he? Number 7, excuse me. For quarterback, Lamar Jackson, I do not expect our quarterback to be there. For running back, is Dameon Pierce there, and he is number 10. For wide receiver, I mean, the duo here, Tyler Boyd and Jamar Chase, but Nico Collins made it. Same with Paul Wilkerson. Best offensive lineman, Creed Humphrey. Kenyon Green got into the top 10, no one else. Greg Rousseau, best defensive lineman of the year. Nick Bosa's right behind him. Linebackers, TJ Watt, Nova, and Harris at 3 and 4, respectfully. Defensive back of the year, we have Adoree Jackson. Behind him, Marcus Cook. And then you throw in anyone else? No, we do not have anyone else, but we have the 1 and 2 spot here at corner, which is very surprising. This was a positional spot that I was kind of keeping my eye on because we had other players that could potentially get in there. For kicker, Daniel Carlson, kicker of the year, and Matt Gay's right behind him. So, you know, only one reward winner. I don't know what that's going to do there for Adoree Jackson, but now let's just sim to the Super Bowl week. Excuse me, we have the Pro Bowl. We'll only focus here on the AFC. Mason Pryor did not make the Pro Bowl, so he's not going to get any XP there. Neither did Christian or Dameon Pierce. He didn't make the Pro Bowl, but Christian Thomas did. So we have 1 Pro Bowler. Nico Collins made it in. No one else so far. No offensive lineman that I can see on our side. Chase Linovich made it. Nick Bosa got in. I'm trying to see if Nova got in. Excuse me. Adoree Jackson, Marcus Cook, Jalen Peachy's our defensive backs made it in, but we had a few Pro Bowlers. And the Indianapolis Colts are your Super Bowl champions, beating the Chicago Bears 38-14 in a not so close ball game, not at all. The Colts get their third champion. Jonathan Taylor is the MVP. I believe the Bears were in another Super Bowl. I feel like they were. I could be wrong, and I am. But the Colts are now the top team here in this franchise here. They just won the championship, and you know, we gotta face them twice this season. We gotta figure out a way to beat them. When we look at the current roster, and just to check out any sort of development traits, if there is any change here, I do not see any in terms of the offensive side of the football. Defensively, I do not. Adoree Jackson made it up to superstar development, so he just got a new, so that really should help out a lot of his potential regression. And I saw something else here, and that is, actually I see a couple. Jalen Petrie here got up to an X Factor at 27 years old, maybe a little too late, but he's now an X Factor here in Houston. So hey, you know what? He's worked very hard over the last few seasons. I definitely think he deserves it. But Jalen now, you know, thankfully we gave him that 2-year contract extension. And then finally the last development change is to Marcus Cook, who we drafted 3rd overall a couple drafts ago, and he got himself up to a star development. That should really help out his development moving forward. He has excellent speed. You know, he's an excellent playmaker here at 25 years old, hoping that he can take the next necessary step. So, I mean, next time will be an off season. We'll evaluate this roster here, really make some critical decisions. Because as much as, yes, we do not have a ton of important free agents, we have a lot of players under contract. We'll just generate the best lineup. There is a few changes that probably will have to be made here on the offensive side of the ball, adding in some type of offensive weapon. I think a change across this offensive line is necessary, especially on the right side. You flip it over to the defense, we have veterans here like, you know, Rashad Evans, Jabril Peppers is a pending free agent. You know, the defensive line, in my opinion, is in a very good spot. But we have a lot of potential changes in this up and coming off season that is going to happen here. So that's going to be next time, ladies and gentlemen, is another off season. In a future video, I will be talking a little bit about this channel. It will probably be coming there. I'll probably post that video in the upcoming weeks. I just want to talk a little bit about the channel, the direction that I'm taking it, and my excitement here for Madden 24 that's going to be dropping in a few months. So let me know down below what you thought of year 4. Let me know if there's any changes that need to be made and what you think that we should do here in the upcoming off season. Let me know down below. Please leave a like, comment down below what you thought, and don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.